Ah, here we go again.
How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. As you can tell by the title of this video today, I'm going to be doing a personal set of rankings or listing for games that I'm most hyped for and the games that I'm most anticipating in 2025. Of course, maybe not all of these games are going to end up coming out in 2025. Delays happen. I would like to note that this list is a set of games I am personally looking forward to, not what is most hyped in general. So if you've seen that mission, understand it's not because I think the game is going to be bad or anything. I just don't see myself carving out time in my schedule to play it. Therefore, don't be surprised if some big titles are excluded for the list. So the way this video is going to be structured, I will list some games I'm looking forward to seeing released but may not play. These games I will call ones to watch. Then I shall detail the games I personally am stoked to get my hands on, these being my most anticipated games. And then lastly, I shall present the game that I'm most excited for, the game that I really can't wait to play. But of course, I don't just want to make this about me because we're also diverse in our opinions. So if you care for it, drop a mention in the comments with what you are most excited for in 2025. Getting started with my ones to watch, I'm just going to get it over and done with, get it out the gate, because this is the game that everybody thinks of when they think of 2025, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6. Now you may be thinking, why isn't this a game you are stoked to get your hands on, Taylor? Well, it's very simple. I haven't been a big fan of the GTA games. It's never been something that's drawn me in. I've never fully played a campaign. Granted, yes, it's one of those, how can you not like The Godfather if you've never finished it?
What didn't you like about it?
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
It's not a game that I've historically enjoyed playing, but maybe with modern engines and everything, modern story, it will get me more into it. Of course, it's not like it's going to be underground. There will be millions of people reviewing it online very shortly after release. So I could be swayed to play this game in its entirety as my first ever GTA game. Maybe I should touch up on GTA 5 before it, but realistically I don't think that's necessary. My major concern for the game is that it might be overhyped. Now I don't want to kill the candle, the flame, the whatever from people. I want people to be passionate and excited for games to come out. But if you overhype a game, if you build up too many expectations, it's going to fall short. So I think as an industry or as a community, people just need to tone it down slightly just in case it's not what they've built up in their heads over the past 10 years or so. Next up, I have the Ghost of Yotai set in the Yotai region of Japan. It is a sequel to very critically acclaimed Ghost of Tsushima, and you would think that would mean it's got a lot going for it, but surprisingly there's been a lot of controversy surrounding it considering it stars a female protagonist. Now, do I have a problem with female protagonists personally? No. Some of my favorite games have a female main character. The recent Tomb Raider trilogy being one of them, others including A Plague Tale, or even from one of my favorite franchises, Assassin's Creed. I love playing Evie Frye. So I have no problem with a female main character. I have a problem though with poorly written stories. So if this is one of those situations where a character has been put in there for the sake of diversity or whatever, it could hinder the experience for players. Now I hope that for a franchise like Ghost of, because I'm sure that's going to be running for quite a while now, that they're going to put a bit more love and care into it, considering they know that the reason people love Ghost of Tsushima is it was such high quality and the story was amazing. So I would expect the same from Ghost of Yotai. Next up on my ones to watch list is Mafia: The Old Country. This is developed on Unreal and is set in Sicily this time, so you're going to have lots of beautiful scenery, big open landscapes, you can ride horses, lots to explore. The story from the brief trailer, the initiation trailer, for me looks intriguing. If you like mafia type of stories, if you love the Godfather, if you just love this Italian, welcome to the family. That's probably the worst Italian accent you've ever heard.
Arrivederci.
But if you like these types of games, this type of story, this type of narrative, I don't see why the game would be wrong for you. But it's not on my most anticipated games because, you know, I want to see some reviews first. I want to make sure it's actually good, because if the story is good and the gameplay is good, it will easily move into my most anticipated game and I'll have to pick it up. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But moving on, I've got South of Midnight. Now, if you happen to be one of the, at the time of recording, 30 people, by the way, thank you very much to all 30 of you who watched my Xbox Developers Direct Showcase, you would note that I said I'm very excited for South of Midnight because I love the idea of it, I love the art style, I love the the direction that they're going with, I just have a few concerns. Many of these concerns revolve around the gameplay, the combat, but other than that, if it can nail these things, it looks really good, and it's one of those that if you have Xbox Game Pass, there's no reason really why not to try it unless you deep into another game. Lastly on my ones to watch is again another game I covered in the Xbox Direct video, is Doom: The Dark Ages. Now this is a prequel to 2016's Doom, and my main concern with it is it looked a bit slow, but it seems like you can rectify that in settings. It's aiming to be more diverse, get new players in, so it looks like it could be a lot of fun for more people. I will say piloting the mechs and the dragon, that looks awesome. The medieval setting looks fantastic. It's something that really intrigues me. And if it is good, fast-paced, classic Doom, you know, just rampaging in there like this all-powerful entity that you are, yeah, it's easily one of those games that you're going to want to play. Moving on to my most anticipated games of the year. Firstly, I have Split Fiction. Now, why does Split Fiction beat out the likes of GTA 6, Ghost of Yotai, Doom? It's simply because I had so much fun playing It Takes Two. I only recently got to play It Takes Two because, well, you need a second person to play, and I'm pretty alone when it comes to playing video games, so I play so many single player titles. But I managed to play It Takes Two with my cousin recently at the start of the year, actually, turn of January, because we picked it up on a Steam sale. I was talking to him on Discord and we said, why not? And we flattened it in like 3 or 4 sessions. So I'm really excited for Split Fiction. It has this novel concept of, for every single level, you're switching between a fantasy world and a sci-fi world, and you have your 2 characters who accidentally fell into the same simulation for this company, which is why they're in these worlds. So yeah, I'm really excited for Split Fiction. It's one of those games that I can't wait to play. I'll probably play it with my cousin again, just because, you know, we played It Takes Two, so it makes sense to continue with him. And I really can't wait to see if it holds up to the same level of quality as It Takes Two. Next up, we have Crimson Desert. Now, should this one be on ones to watch? Yes, probably. Is that more because I'm very skeptical of a game looking too good? Yes, as well. So for this one, I've let my hype pick up for me a bit, maybe too much. It's one of those I really want to play. It looks awesome. It looks like it has everything. And for a company whose last game was, I think it was like Black Desert Online or something, it seems like such a shift. But in the same token, we've had so many games recently come out from lesser known studios that have just really taken over. So I don't see any reason why I can't give these guys the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, your gameplay might actually be as good as it looks. My next concern is that this game might not release in 2025. I hope it does, but if it needs more time to bake, 100% push back to 2026. Nothing irritates me more than a game coming out broken and it has to be patched for the first few months, or even in some cases a couple of years, because very rarely do people actually then pick up the game again and say, wow, this is one of the best games of all time. I mean, recently we had Cyberpunk. They managed to turn around their fortune, but not everybody is CD Projekt Red. Next up, picking up for the Xbox games, we've got Gears of War E-Day. Now, this game takes place on the pivotal day for the franchise. And to be honest, I think I'm mainly excited for this because we're finally starting to see all these Xbox games come back and pick up some momentum after quite a long dry spell. So yes, there's going to be a lot of questions around Gears of War E-Day, but if it can be fun, if it can be good, if it can be the Gears that so many people love and know, it's just going to be one of those that I'm just going to play. It's very simple. I'm just going to play it. So there's really not much more to say about it. It's Gears. That's it. Moving on to another franchise we actually haven't seen in a long while is Fable. Now again, will Fable come out this year? Yes, no, maybe, might be 26. My main concern for Fable is that I have to play that woman character. I don't know what it is about her. She just gives me the creeps. That's all.
Women can do anything.
I'm saying that you're being sexist.
No, I'm being misogynistic.
But Fable's all about goofiness and stuff, so maybe she'll grow on me. I do think there were rumors that you could play a man, and this is not to say I don't want to play a woman. Of course, I want more diversity in video games and everything. But if it's all about representing yourself in video games, I'm obviously a man, if you can tell by my voice. I would like to pick up a guy.
Oh my God! Where are all the men?
Other than that, the footage we've been shown looks really good. If the game can run well and still look very good, I think it'll be great. But again, only time will tell. But it's Fable, so a bit like Gears, the name is carrying a lot of weight on why I really want to play it this year. Last up on my most anticipated list, I have Expedition 33, or Clair Obscura Expedition 33. This is one of those that looks beautiful, and narratively it looks like it's going to be an amazing story. I really want to know all the characters. I want to see how it ends. How do they stop this paintress from counting down the days? Who have each character lost that's pushed them to the position that they're in now? Again, as I mentioned in my Developers Direct video, the main thing that's concerning for me is the turn-based combat system, but that is something that if it's good, if it's interactive, if it's entertaining, that's something I can overlook. Moving on to my most anticipated game of the year, the last one. This is the last game of the year that I'm going to be talking about. That is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I know my hands are already in the air. You can't see me, but my hands are in the air. Put handcuffs on me, take me to jail. Why am I so hyped for this? Firstly, I love Assassin's Creed. Very simple. That's it. Secondly, this game looks so much better in terms of mechanics than the previous few games. Maybe except for Mirage, that was set in a dense city and all of that, and gave you more of an Assassin's fantasy. The parkour looks infinitely better than anything we saw in Valhalla. And yes, it is just a lot of flips and tricks and everything, and people are saying, oh, you're just being deceived because they're doing fancy backflips or whatever. You don't have to do that all the time. The main reason people are doing that is just to showcase what it looks like, because, well, what's more fun, that or just jumping off, you know? So in the game, I'll probably do a lot of backflips as well, but I'll mainly just stick to doing normal parkour. It's much faster, and you get a descent button with the dodge, so it's going to be a much more integrated system than something like Valhalla, where parkour really was secondary. I mean, the most you could really do was climb onto a longhouse and sit there. Beyond that, the combat looks much better. I know I've seen several people who have glazed the combat. I've seen several people who have bashed the combat. But for me, in an Assassin's Creed style combat where you parry, attack, and you dodge, it looks really good. Some of the finishes look brutal, with my main concern just being damage sponges. I know in Odyssey, a lot of enemies were very tanky, and it took away from the fantasy experience of, I've just stabbed you, you should be dead. So if it's going to be like that, I could see it detracting from the combat a bit. But otherwise, in terms of the animations, the moves, the weapon variety, the choice, it looks much better. And then, of course, I can't talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows without talking about the main controversy. The main reason that people are going to bash the game and hate it and not want to play it, and it's not historically accurate. By the way, Assassin's Creed has never been historically accurate. By the second game, I was fighting the Pope with a magic artifacts from an ancient civilization that came before us. You know, it's not exactly been one of those franchises that I would say, it's all about historical accuracy. Yeah, they removed the crossbow, blah, blah, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it's not one of those franchises. I think there's this misconception on Assassin's Creed that it has to be historically accurate, and that it's more of a history game where you dive into it and you have a look. Yes, history is a big part of it. It's the playground, it's the settings. But you look at the combat, ever since the first few early games, it hasn't been realistic. It's been more about having fun. And if you can have fun in a historical context, why would you hate the game? Microtransactions might be one of the reasons you hate the game, and for that I say fair point. But other than that, it's just meant to be fun, guys. This is what games are all about, and that's why it's my most anticipated game of the year. You can disagree with me quite easily. Yes, say, oh, I'm being too lenient on it, but it's my list. So that's all I can really say. Let me know what your list is in the comments down below. It's been wonderful chatting to you today. And yeah, I'm sure I'll make a video at the end of the year and I'll say, this game sucked, this game sucked, this game I wasn't expecting to be nice was fantastic. So here's to a great 2025. Have a great one, everyone. I hope to see you in the next one.